I hope all of you are staying safe at home. But why we are staying like this? Because of COVID-19. Because of COVID-19, India is locked down. So most of the migrant labor are taking shelter at their workplace. So in the same scenario, a group of migrant laborers are taking shelter in one of the government schools of Rajasthan. So they were given accommodation and they were happy with that accommodation. But after some days, one among the group thought that why we should stay like this? I shall repay what I borrow. Paying back to the society is always good, is it or not? And he shared his idea among his group. Everybody accepted. Next day, they asked that school management to provide some colors because these group of laborers are basically painters and they had started painting the school building. Look at the slide, how they are painting. Yes, they had painted and finally they made the school building so colorful like this. See the school building now, how colorful it is. Is it or not? But what did they paint? They had painted each and every surface of the walls so that they should know how much area it occupies, how many liters of colors is required, so that how much they need to spend. So for all these, we should learn surface areas and volume. I hope you have understood what is today's topic, surface areas and volume. Okay, but is it useful only in mathematics? No, we are also using this in other subjects. For example, in chemistry, the chemical substance, if it occupies more surface area, then the rate of chemical reaction will be more. And in physics also, there is a relation between volume, density and mass. If volume increases, density decreases. These will be in inversely proportion. Okay, children. Let me know one thing from you. You have learned area and perimeter in the last session, right? Is it or not? Okay. Then, did you use same formula to find area of the triangle and area of the rectangle? No. Based on their shapes, we are using different formulae. Is it or not? So that first of all, we are going to know about shapes. Look at the slide. Observe the slide. What are the known shapes here? Triangle, rectangle, square, rhombus, circle, then hexagon. Okay, good. You have learned all these shapes in last session, is it or not? But along with this, you might have observed few more objects in the slide. Is it or not? Those may be in this shape, right? So here, you might have observed the shapes like this. This is one playing ball and one more object like this. Is it, children? Did you observe? Okay. Now, if I hold this object, what it is occupying? So, this object is occupying space. So, an object which occupies space is known as solid. What, children? An object which occupies space is known as solid. Now, solid consisting of three dimensions. Those are length, breadth and height. So here you can see clearly length, breadth and height. So solid consisting of 3 dimensions. Whereas in the last session we have discussed 2D shapes, and those dimensions are length and breadth. But today we are going to discuss 3D shapes and its dimensions are L, B, H respectively. So length, breadth, height we denoted them by L, B, H respectively. Okay children. Now can you give me some examples for solids? Yes, very good. Your textbook, notebooks and then erasers, sharpeners, vessels in the kitchen, bricks, very good. Now look at the next slide for real life examples of solids. See there, just you can see box and fruit, capsule, candles are there, gift pack, and then ball, playing ball, birthday caps. So you can observe the real life objects around us, is it or not? And see here, don't think that solid means it should be big in size, just it occupies space and it is 3-dimensional objects. Is it clear children? Hope you are understanding, right? Okay, I have face. Human beings are having faces, right? Is it or not? Solids also having faces. But how? Do you want to know? Yes. If you take this solid, this flat surface of the solid is known as face. So, if you observe carefully, how many flat surfaces we can see here? This one and here one and here one, here and this. So these flat surfaces are known as faces. But you might have observed these type of objects also, means balls also in the slide, is it or not? But this ball is not consisting any flat surface. So this is only curved surface. It is not consisting any flat surface, it is only curved surface. Whereas objects like this consisting flat surfaces, right? Now, till now we have seen objects around us, is it or not? But now we are going to see what are its mathematical shapes. Look at the next slide. So here you can see the geometrical shapes of solids, and our real life solids may take directly any one of these shapes or sometimes combination of any 2 or more than 2 solids also. Is it clear children? Okay, right, very good. Now children, I have only one face, right, and numbers having its face values fixed, but solids are not having like that. Based on their shape, solids consisting of number of faces. How? If you see this object, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this solid is consisting 6 faces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces altogether. We have only one face, but solids having number of faces based on their base shape. Now, among all these faces, the faces around the object are known as lateral faces. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4. These faces are around the object. So these faces are known as lateral faces. That means we are excluding this top and bottom. So faces around the object are known as lateral faces. And in our mathematical shapes, just now we have seen solids. In that you might have seen this ball shaped solid also, is it or not, like spherical shape. Now I am going to take only the objects with flat surfaces in the next slide. That means I am not considering this curved surface solids. Look at the next slide. So if you observe the slide, so here solids with triangle shape faces and then rectangular faces, parallelogram faces, square faces, again triangular faces, then square and pentagonal faces. Is it or not? Here is there any curved surface? No, no curved surface, and all are consisting of polygonal faces. So a solid with polygonal faces is known as polyhedra. Solid with polygonal faces. Polygonal means just now we have seen in the slide, either it may be triangular faces or rectangular faces or pentagonal faces, any polygonal faces. So solid with polygonal faces is known as polyhedra, and plural of polyhedra is polyhedron. Hope you have understood. Okay. Now you might have observed these type of solids in your slide. So look at the shapes. So these two types you might have observed in the polyhedron shapes, right? So is there any difference or looking similar? Here if you observe, similarity is both are having polygonal faces, right? But if you go in deep, I will show you one more object. These two objects are similar, right? That this appearance is similar. What is the similarity? And first I have shown you one more object along with this, right? Then what is the difference between those two and what is the similarity between these two? Okay, before going to know that, let me ask you one thing. What is parallelogram family? Parallelogram with its family members. But who are those family members? As rectangles, squares, rhombus and parallelogram itself. Is it or not? So now if I use the word parallelogram family, parallelograms, you can take any one of these shape from its family. Either you can take rectangle or a square or rhombus, any one from this, right? Then what about congruent figures? When do you call figures as congruent? Two plane figures are said to be congruent if they are same size and shape. Suppose if I take my two palms, if I keep like this one upon another, they are exactly overlapping one on each other. Is it or not? Because my two palms are having same size and shape, so that they are getting overlap on one on each other. So two rectangles are said to be congruent if they are having same length and breadth. Then if you keep one upon another, they will get exactly overlapped on each other, right? So if you take these two objects, see here, if I take this object consisting rectangles as its lateral faces. Lateral faces means as faces around the object. So this solid consisting rectangles around the object. and top and bottom are congruent to each other, so that this solid is known as prism. Whereas if I take this solid, here also the solid consisting squares as its lateral faces and top and bottom are congruent, so that this is also known as prism. Now in polyhedron only again we are discussing prisms, right? So what are prisms? Lateral faces are parallelogram and bases are congruent. Okay. Now I have shown you two examples of prisms, two objects we have seen, right? But if I keep these two objects on the table and if I send someone to get that object and I said to bring a prism, which prism they will bring? Because both are prisms only and I am keeping them on table, I send simply to bring that prism. Which prism they will bring? So that naming also important, is it or not? Shall we name now? Okay. Just you observe the base shape. So here, what is the base shape? So this base is in square shape, so that we name it as square prism. So based on the base shape, we are naming the prisms. Here base is in square shape, so that we are naming it as square prism. Particularly the square prism is also known as cube, right? Then one more also we have discussed, right? So here what is the base shape? So this base shape is rectangle, so that it is known as, very good, rectangular prism, and particularly you can call it as specifically cuboid. So rectangular prism is a cuboid and square prism is a cube. Very good. Now can you give me some examples for these prisms? Yes, what are those? Bricks. Yes, or eraser is the best example. Very good. And refrigerator, mattresses. Very good. These are the few examples for prisms. Now look at the slide, and here triangular prism, because the base is in triangular shape. Pentagonal prism, because base is in pentagonal shape. Rectangular prism, base is in rectangle shape, and particularly we call it as cuboid. Is it clear, children? Yes, I hope you are understanding. Very good. Now I said there is a difference between these two objects. Is it or not? Common property is polygonal faces, but there is a difference. What is that difference? Now just we have discussed prisms, lateral faces must be any one of the parallelograms, means either rectangles, squares, like that. But if I take this object, what about its lateral faces? What is this face shape? So this is in triangle shape. So lateral faces are triangles. So if the lateral faces are triangles, then that solid is known as pyramid. So because of this triangular faces, you can observe this sharp end point here. Easily you can identify the pyramids, right? And base. What about the base? Is it necessary to have only triangle base? No. Base may be any polygon. Polygon in the sense, you can take either square, rectangle, pentagon, any one. Any polygon will be a base, and lateral faces or triangular faces. Then these solids are known as pyramids. So what did we discuss? Pyramids and prisms. So these again in polyhedron only. In polyhedron we have discussed prisms and pyramids. Prisms, lateral faces are parallelograms and bases are congruent. In pyramids, lateral faces are triangles and base may be any polygon. Now if you take this object, see here this base is in square shape, right? So this base is in square shape, so that like prism, pyramids also we name it as based on their base shape only. So this base is in square shape, so that how can we name now? Very good, square pyramid. Now I have shown you this, right? What is this base shape? Triangle shape. So that how can we name now? Triangular pyramid. Very good. Now look at the next slide. Oh, seventh wonder. Is it or not? One of the wonders. So mathematics involved everywhere, right? Egypt pyramids are best examples for pyramids. And you can also see the diet chart in the pyramidal shape. And we are also having ecological pyramids in bioscience. See, in Egypt pyramids, just you observe, base is in square shape and lateral faces are triangles. So see the beauty of mathematics. So mathematics involved everywhere, right? Is it clear? Okay, very good. Then we'll go for the next slide. Observe the objects in the slide. So here, if you observe, is any solid consisting flat surfaces as it faces? Any flat surfaces are there here? Just you observe all the solids. No, all these are consisting of curved surface. So these comes under non-polyhedron. So examples are balls, here there is a globe, and fruits, cylinder, utensils, playing drum, birthday caps, all these are comes under non-polyhedron. Is it clear? Okay, very good. Okay, see here. We have human beings consisting of body parts, is it or not? I have hands, legs, like that. Similarly, solids also having its parts. Do you want to know what are those parts? Yes, see here. Already we have discussed this flat surface is face. Children, suppose if I want to prepare this object, already I have prepared, right? But before that, what did I do? See what I have to do if I want to prepare this object. Only faces I am having. Then, is it give complete solid shape? No, I should join the faces, right? So that joining or meeting, in our mathematics language we call it as intersection. So here the intersection of faces is known as edge. Now if you observe, this face and this face are intersecting here. You can see this pink line. So for your understanding, I have decorated with pink, right? So this pink line is a edge because this is the intersection of this face and this face. Similarly, these two are intersecting here and these two are intersecting here. So like that, all the faces are intersecting. So that intersection is known as edges. And edges also intersecting, right? So that intersection of edges is known as vertex, and plural of vertex is vertices. If you observe here, 1, 2, 3, these three line segments or edges are meeting at this point. So this point is known as vertex. See here, just you observe, this is known as vertex. Easily you can remember corners. So here 1, 2 and 3, 4. Then bottom also 1, 2, 3 and 4. Is there any vertex in the middle of the solid? No. Here there is no intersection of edges, so that here we are not getting any vertices. So flat surfaces are known as faces and intersection of faces is known as edges and intersection of edges is known as vertices. To get the clear idea, just you look at the slide. So here face, vertex and edge. Clear? Okay. Now, shall we count edges, faces and vertices for objects? Are you ready to count now? Okay then, I am going to count for this object, right? So, here how many faces are there? For this cuboid I am going to count how many faces are there, just you see first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So total how many faces are there? 6 faces. So here faces are 6. Then intersection of faces is edge. Shall we count edges now? So easily you can count that line segments as edges, or here we count the pink lines, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So total how many edges are there? 12 edges. Vertices 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here also bottom again 1, 2, 3, 4 and top 4 1, 2, 3, 4. Total how many are there? 8. So vertices are 8. Shall we also count for one more object? Are you ready to count? Okay, very good. Now let me take this pyramid. What is this pyramid? Triangular pyramid. Okay. How many faces are there? 1, 2, 3, then 4. Total how many faces are there? 4 faces. Edges 1, 2 and here 3, then 4, 5, 6. Vertices 1, 2, 3 and 4. So total how many vertices are there? Very good, 4 vertices. So mathematics class, till now we did not use any addition and subtraction, right? Okay, we do something here. What I want to do is just I am selecting smallest among these 3. What are the smallest values here? 6 and 8. Okay. So that I am doing 6 plus 8. What is the value? 6 plus 8 is 14. 1 left over here. What is that? This 12 is left over. How do I get 12 to 14? Yes, by adding 2 to that. Is it or not? So, I can write 14 equals to 12 plus 2. So, here again we are getting 14, right? So, that 6 plus 8 again 14 and 12 plus 2 is 14, right? we go for next object. Next object also we have counted, right? So in this, what are the small values? Smaller will take first. 4 plus 4, 8. Remaining is 6. Again, how do you get 6 to 8? So if I add 2, I get 8. Is it or not? So 6 plus 2 equals to 8. But what did I add here? F plus V. So that edges, 12 is edges here, right? So E plus 2. And here 4 plus 4 means I have added F plus V. Again 6 plus 2, edges plus 2. So here these edges are positive. If I take this to left side, means I am transposing from right to left. Already you have learnt in algebra, right? If you take this right to left, then what happens? F minus E plus V equals to 2. And here also same, F plus V minus E equals to 2. So that the same you can also write as V minus E plus F equals to 2. See here, we have verified for 2 objects here, is it or not? But if you take any polyhedron and if you find out this, well, if you calculate this vertices, edges and faces, they all this V minus E plus F for all the polyhedrons you will get equals to 2 only. See how beautiful it is. So whatever you take, either it is prism or a pyramid, you can observe this relation V minus E plus F equals to 2. And in this equation, if you know any 2, with the help of this equation you can find the third value also. Suppose if you know vertices and faces, then you can find edges with the help of this equation. But what is this equation? Look at the next slide. What do we call? V minus E plus F equals to 2 is known as Euler's formula and introduced by great mathematician Leonhard Euler. So this is known as Euler's formula. Is it clear, children? Hope you have understood, right? Okay. In the beginning of the session, I said we discuss surface areas and volume. Is it or not? Okay. Are you ready to learn? Very good. Now we are going to discuss surface areas and volume. In the last session, you have learnt area. Is it? What is area? Yes, the place occupied by an object is known as area. Suppose if I take this, for this particular face, this green color portion is known as area. Means this is the place occupied by this face. So this portion is known as area. Now to write on the board, whatever this white portion I am using, this place is the area, right? And we know solid consisting number of faces, right? It is not like as one faces and restricted, no. It consisting of number of faces based on their base shapes, right? So here if I add all the faces area around the object, that means what I am adding here? Lateral faces area together. 1, this face area plus this face area, and here this area and this area. So if I add all these lateral faces area together, then that area is known as lateral surface area. But where do we use this lateral surface area? Because here I am excluding top and bottom. Is it or not? So then where we use this? For example, if I want to color 4 walls of a room, so that I am excluding coloring for top and flooring. So roof and flooring. So in such situation, for coloring 4 walls of a room, we use lateral surface area, right? LSA of cuboid, because most of the rooms will be either in cuboid or cube shape. Is it clear? Very good. Then if I add this top and bottom also together, that means I am adding all the faces area together. Then we call it as total surface area, because we are adding all the faces area together, so that it is known as total surface area. For example, just you can take this model only. To prepare this model, just I have used this chart to cover a normal box. Actually just it is a normal box. I have covered all the faces with chart. So I am using all 6 faces of this object, so that in such situation we can use total surface area. Best example is gift packing. So to wrap the gift in a box, we use that gift paper for all the faces, right? So then it comes under total surface area. But what are the measurements? So you know already we measure the area using square units. Suppose if I take centimeters, then we write it as square centimeters or centimeter square. So for LSA and TSA, for both we use square units. For example, if it is centimeters, I can write it as square centimeters or centimeter square. Right? Okay. One more is left for us. What is that? Surface areas completed. Each face area completed. One more is there. What is that? Volume. But before going to volume, let me give you a small story. Are you ready to listen? Yes. Once upon a time, there was a crow. Already you know this story, I think so, thirsty crow. One day it was thirsty and just it flew here and there in searching water. Suddenly it saw a pot, but water is too little in the pot and that opening is too narrow opening, so that crow cannot take the water properly, right? So after some time what it did is, just it dropped one stone in that, like that few stones it dropped and observed the water level, increase in water level in the pot. So she thought that okay, water level will be increased if I drop many stones in that, and she dropped many stones. Finally water level increased, it took the water and flew away, right? But what happened in that situation? Why water level is increased there? Any idea? Because of? Very good, because of stones. But what stones did there? They occupied space. An object which occupies space is known as volume. See here, suppose if I keep this object like this object occupies space, so that is volume. Best example is, if we construct a wall, we keep bricks one upon another, so that each brick occupies volume there. So each space occupied by each brick, is it or not? Best example is, if I pour water into bottle or some liquid into a container, just you see here, I am taking this is a measuring jar and I am pouring liquid into this, right? Are you observing? Okay. So here this liquid is occupying space in this jar. That means this liquid is taking volume here, and it is a measuring jar, and this measuring jar is showing me that 250 ml, milliliters. So as it is liquid, we measure the volume in liters, milliliters, right? Then can I get few examples for volume? So best thing is our oil packets, and then early morning milk packets we get, is it or not? All those will be measured in milliliters and liters. But if it is not a liquid, then if it is solid, then measurements are, for volume we write cubic units. That means you can write centimeters cube or cubic centimeters. So for volume, what are the measurements we use? Cubic centimeters or centimeters cube, particularly if the measure dimensions are given in centimeters. In general, we write cubic units. But if it is liquid, what do we write? Liters. So that we have one relation between this liters and centimeters. 1 liter equals to 1000 centimeter cube. So using this relation, we can convert liters into centimeters or centimeters into liter, vice versa. Is it clear? Okay. Then shall we derive this LSA, TSA and volume for any one of the prism? Are you ready to know? Yes? Very good. Okay. Now we are going to derive the formula LSA, TSA and volume of cuboid, right? Before going to that, what are the dimensions of this solid? Length, breadth, height, is it or not? So length, breadth and height for cuboid and for cube also. Now we are going to find LSA, TSA and volume of cuboid. See here, if it is this is 3-dimensional object, so dimensions are LBH, but if I take particular face, this face is in rectangular shape, and what are the dimensions of rectangle? Length and breadth, but we do not have 3 dimensions for rectangle, is it or not? So if I take particular face, then faces will be in 2D shapes and solid is in 3D. So with the help of 2D shapes, we are going to derive the formula now. Here, just if you observe, this is LBH. If you take this particular face, dimensions are length and height. So that area of this face is L into H. Similarly, if I take this face, here this is breadth and this is height. So that area is B into H. And again, if I take the base, length and breadth, so that area is L into B. Again, in a cuboid, opposite faces are congruent. Opposite faces are congruent means this front and back faces will occupy equal areas, and left and right faces will occupy equal areas. Top and bottom also occupy equal areas. Based on that, now I am going to write LSA of this cuboid. Actually, what is LSA? Lateral surface area. Lateral surface area means we are adding lateral faces area together around the object. So, here what is the around the object? LH. Area is LH and this face area is BH. Again next LH. Next BH, because congruent faces, two faces are occupying equal areas. Now, can I add these two directly? No. Why? These two are unlike terms. What are like terms here? Yes, LH plus LH, BH plus BH. Coefficients are 1, right? So, 1 LH plus 1 LH, 2 LH, again 1 BH plus 1 BH, 2 BH. I think you know distributive property, right? So, I am using distributive property and in our well known language taking common, right? Here, what are common here? 2 is common in both, H is common in both, right? So that I can write 2H of L plus B. What are the measurements? Yes, very good, square units. This is also very important. So what I did here, I have taken 4 faces area together and added together. So LH plus BH plus LH plus BH. Finally, we got it as 2H of L plus B square units. And this is also known as area of 4 walls of a room, because we are excluding top and bottom, right? If I add top and bottom, becomes total surface area. Then what is left over? This top area is LB. Again, bottom area is also LB. How many times it is repeated? Yes, very good, 2 times. Already 4 faces area is readily available here. I am using this now. So, 2LH plus 2BH, remaining 2 faces, 2LB. What is common in all these? 2 is common in all these, right? So that 2 of, just I am writing in order, okay, otherwise you can write LH plus BH plus LB. If you want to write in order, 2 of LB plus BH plus LH square units. Just I have written in order to remember easily. 2 of LB plus BH plus LH square units. So this is TSA of cuboid. Hope you have understood, right? Very good. Shall we go for next one? What next? Volume. So as we discussed, just I have poured water in this container, right? So what it is happening here, because this container is occupying same area from bottom to top, right? So bottom to top, this container is occupying same area, equal area, right? That means if I cut into cross sections or layers, we will get equal area. So that to find the volume, we multiply area of the base into height, because in cuboid also, if I take the cross section, right, like slices, in bread packet you can observe the slices, those will be equal, is it or not? So in cuboid also, from base to top, we get equal cross sections, congruent cross sections. So in that situation, you can use volume as base area into height. But what is the base shape? Cuboid base shape is rectangular shape. And what is this area? LB. Is it or not? So that LB into H. So here LBH. What are the measurements? Very good. Cubic units. So what is the volume of the cuboid? LBH cubic units, because we are multiplying area of the base into height. Why we are multiplying area of the base into height here? Because these cross sections are occupying same area from bottom to top. Same area will be taken till the height. So that we are multiplying base area into height. Is it clear? Okay. Then what about cube? For cube, all the faces are in square shape. That means all are same length. L, B and H all are same length. This length you can take as A units, and breadth also you can take as A units, and height also you can take it as A units. So all are A units only. So that each face area, how much we get? Because this is in the form of square. What is the formula to find area of the square? Side into side. So A into A. So that how much you will get? A square. Each face area is A square. Okay. Just you look at the slides to recollect the formula. Yes. LSA of cuboid, TSA of cuboid, and volume of the cuboid. Then just you see the cube, lateral faces are 4, so that LSA is 4A square, and total surface area 6A square. Why it is 6A square? Total 6 faces are there, and each face area is A square, so that. And what about volume? L into B into H, but all are equals to A only, so that A cube. So these are the formulae for LSA, TSA and volume of the cube. Is it clear? Okay. Then what are you waiting for? Yes? Our regular tradition, giving homework in the end of the session, right? Okay. Then we will go for summer project. Okay. Identify a polyhedron in your surroundings and verify the Euler formula. So just you can identify polyhedron. If you are able to draw, you can draw the shapes also, and just you prepare a table. Take few objects and just you prepare a table. If you are able to draw the shapes, or otherwise you can name them in which shape it is, either square prism or pentagonal prism or a square pyramid. After that, write vertices, edges and faces. Last, finally, equation, whether it is satisfied or not, that you have to verify. So that is your first project. Identify a polyhedron and check the Euler formula. Then second one, prepare a solid and find its LSA, TSA and volume, so that you can prepare any one of the solids, either prism or pyramid. And here if you prepare a pyramid like this, see here, pyramid is in which shape? Lateral faces are in triangle shape. So in cuboid, lateral faces are in rectangular shape, so that we have used area of the rectangle formula. But here these are in triangular shape, so that use area of the triangle formula to find the lateral surface area. Again, based on base shape, you have to use that particular formula to find total surface area. Is it clear? So Like that, complete the Summer Samurai projects, right? I hope you have enjoyed the session. Thank you one and all. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.